Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the new man in D.C., Case Keenum, and the Washington Redskins as they take on Dak Prescott and the defending NFC East champs, the Dallas Cowboys. I'll see you again with scores and updates at halftime. But for now, it's my distinct pleasure to hand things over to our broadcast team. It's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
Appreciate it, Coach. Well, the roof is closed, but as you can probably tell, the mouths of these Cowboy fans could not be more wide open. It is a frenzied AT&T Stadium in Arlington. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Washington Redskins. Calling the action from up top, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis with you. We got an NFC East matchup here, CD. The most difficult division year to year to really predict. In fact, no team has repeated as division champ since 2004, 15 years ago.
And that was the Eagles, correct?
Yeah.
They went back-to-back. Well, let's be honest about it. The way that these teams match up, the way that they draft, all trying their best to win their division, very similar styles. Eagles won the Super Bowl not that long ago. Washington, with good health, they were winning the division last year late in the season. How about New York with the Giants trying to make their move? And, of course, Dallas won the division a year ago. But this division is so interesting with Saquon Barkley in New York. Did you know that the caddy of Tiger Woods wore Saquon Barkley's jersey underneath his caddy outfit at the Masters in 2019 when Tiger won for the first time in a long time? Let's be honest about it. Saquon Barkley, he's pretty popular.
Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. And the offensive starters for Dallas.
It's so good to see big number 72 Travis Frederick back in a Cowboys uniform. Remember, he missed all of last season with Guillain-Barré syndrome. And prior to that, he'd been to the Pro Bowl 4 straight times at center. And his return, a huge boost to the offensive line. Better to have him in uniform than coaching.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Elliott. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He may try and run for this. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. They decide against going for it on 4th and 1, maybe to the dismay of their offense, but hey, a nice consolation prize down inside the 5.
Nice consolation prize indeed. So maybe the offense is upset, but they showed confidence in their defense by punting it away.
Well, everyone knows it's been a tough season for the Washington Redskins, and a chance for us to chat about that here as they get this next series started. Just really a forgettable season in our nation's capital. Last 2 years, Charles, 7-9, and people were disappointed with those records, but I think 7-9.
You take it now.
Yeah, they'll take it now because they're going to finish well below that.
And everything just collapsed for them because I thought they'd have a good defense coming into the season, but they got torched the first couple of weeks of the year, and things went downhill from there for a while. Jay Gruden lost his job as the head coach. And then the team had to figure out who was going to play quarterback, and finally Dwayne Haskins got his opportunity. Struggled early. I thought he got better as the season went along, but rookie wide receiver Terry McLaurin, he's a keeper. That's a big-time player that they got, I believe, in the 3rd round.
You are right, Mr. Davis, as I consult my cheat sheet here. 3rd round, 76 pick out of Ohio State was Terry McLaurin. They run with Adrian Peterson, the second active leading rusher in the NFL. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 7 yards there and a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Keenum on first down. Connects here with a tight end, Jeremy Sprinkle. Still fighting for more. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys. But you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. First down, here's a run with Peterson. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On 2nd down now, it's Thompson. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. And the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back. Working from the gun, Keenum under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. Back deep for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. Cowboys offense taking the field again here, and as you think about Dallas and where they're at right now, it seems like every week recently we're talking about the NFC East not performing well, and the Cowboys and the Eagles battling it out for a subpar record to go to the playoffs and win the division. Of course, Washington, the Giants, way out of it, below 500. But the Cowboys very much in the playoff picture. They came into the season with that Zeke saga. Would he sign? He finally signed. They get off to the 3-0 start. People were saying, are they the best team in the NFC? Maybe the best team in the NFL. Well, they've had their struggles since, and a lot of questions about Jason Garrett's future, at least around the fan base in the Metroplex. But if you look to Week 15 when they blew out the Rams 44-21, maybe their most complete performance of the season, and afterwards, a lot of the folks in that area saying if they get that Dallas Cowboys team down the stretch and into the playoffs, they could make a run at things. Elliott running right. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down. A first down carry by Elliott. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. And this punt sails over the sideline, and the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Keenum and the Redskins now going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. To Thompson on the draw. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back.
Let's go, you tighten up. Let's go, you tighten.
Shotgun snap for Keenum. Got a man out of the backfield. It's Chris Thompson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The Redskins have the first down on a pickup of 18. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Check tight.
On first down, Peterson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Keenum going to throw. Catch is made. It's Harmon. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
First down, Redskins.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Keenum. That's caught by Trey Quinn. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Watch a slant, watch a slant, watch a slant.
Back to the ground, Peterson. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and inches.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert.
3rd and inches, they just hand it to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around, hand it to the big fella, and let him get forward for a first down.
They'll run on first down. It's Peterson, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They'll run with Peterson. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Keenum now to throw. And that is incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. They had it first and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Looking deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Prescott. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The man with over 1,000 catches, Jason Witten, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the 1st. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
On play action, Prescott. They'll roll him out right. He'll run it. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Now Prescott. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Deron Payne picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. You think back to last year, Dak Prescott was sacked 56 times, 2nd most in the league behind Deshaun Watson of the Texans. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Brings up 3rd down.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
So now it's the former Redskin, let go by them in 2015, Kai Forbath, on to try the field goal. From the right hash, this from 48. And his kick is good, not by much. It was leaking oil in the end, but he tucks it in the bottom right corner. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The defense for the Cowboys getting set to go. And as we're going to see right here, they have been laying some pretty electrifying hits in this one.
And these are for real, okay? As you watch, think about putting yourself in that spot, about being the ball carrier or the receiver.
I don't want to.
And then taking that shot, it is something else. It's not like when we were watching that video clip where they showed you how they make sounds for movies. This is for real.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Keenum. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Shotgun handoff to Thompson. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. The Redskins on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Here's Keenum to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by Robert Quinn.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. Here's Austin. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Throwing. Prescott. Got an open man, the tight end, Jarwin. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Prescott from the gun. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, he was looking at a dime formation, 6 defensive backs on the field, so he's looking for anyone to throw the football to, but he didn't have anyone open, so he took off and ran for it, but he came up just short, and that brings up 4th down.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. They start the drive with Peterson. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Let's see what you got.
A 10th carry now for Peterson. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. On 3rd and short, the fullback Burton. And it would appear he's going to be short of a first down as he stopped right around the 29. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. Now Austin. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
The first down run for Elliott will net him about 5 yards. It's 2nd down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Mike, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Draw play, Elliott. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
You better be ready next time.
Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Keenum and the Redskins now going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
On 2nd down, Peterson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Keenum. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. It led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Here's Keenum. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
50, go right in.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
On 1st down, Elliott. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now, if you want to take a shot on 2nd down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
Here we go, do anything. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That play gets them 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal. You know they'd love nothing more than to get a 3-and-out here after having the interception.
And it also tells you a little bit about how they feel about their leader, right? Their quarterback throws an interception in the previous series. They're trying to help him out here with a big stand.
Now Elliott. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
One man in the backfield, that's Elliott on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Aaron Bolden on the tackle. A gain of 3 yards. It's now 3rd and goal.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no time. And that is caught. It's Witten for the Cowboy touchdown. 2 yards on the touchdown there, and the Cowboys have taken the lead. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Forbath able to convert the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. 5 plays there on that drive, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Forbat to send it away now following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Sprinkle. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give the Redskins 13 there and a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. On first down, it's Keenum. Got an open man, it's Harmon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Redskins have the first down on a pickup of 18.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Keenum. The throw taken in by Sims. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Again, Keenum. Open man is Sims. He's got it. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Keenum to throw again. He gets it to Sims, complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Throwing now is Keenum. Catch is made. It's Harmon. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Keenum going to come up now 1st and 10, and he's 6 of 7 now on this drive. Keenum throwing once more. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And Peterson, what happened? He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now. Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. On first down, Keenum got his man complete over the middle. It's Harmon, and he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 10 yards there, good for a Redskin first down. Keenum now, 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's first and 10. A toss play. This is Peterson. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. From the gun on third down, Keenum. And this is going to be incomplete. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Dak and the Cowboys ready for their next possession. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. A good start to the drive. That's caught out on the left side. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Boy, you got to think that having the 37-year-old veteran Jason Witten back at tight end is going to be great for Dak Prescott for plays just like that. And you think to last year when Witten wasn't there, it was kind of a rotating carousel. They had Blake Jarwin, Jeff Swaim, Rico Gathers, Dalton Schultz. But Witten back out there and doing his thing again. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Again, it's Elliott. He'll get 3 up to midfield. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Here we go. Check 53's mine. I'm coming. 26.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. They'll run on 1st down. It's Elliott, and he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd.
53's the mic. 53. Check.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Cooper's got it. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys.
Let's go!
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Prescott. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a...
They go play action here on first down. This will be caught just inside the 10. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be second and goal.
I think they tried to fool him on that one. You know, being able to throw the ball to the fullback position. No one was fooled on that play.
No, lost yardage. You think they should yank that one from the playbook, at least for the time being?
I think what you do is you take it out and you evaluate it next week in practice.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Prescott on third and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Forbath to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Forbath to send it away now following the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Keenum and the Redskins now going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. On play action, it's Keenum. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. Now Keenum, and that is incomplete. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
No, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to stay with it.
That's true. Here's Tressway now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. This is taken at about the 14. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They go to Elliott again. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That one a first down pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10.
That's the way.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
3rd and short yardage, Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They run. Peterson. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
With that kind of run on first down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
On 2nd down now, it's Thompson. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Keenum now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did it in a big way there.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw, Keenum. That's complete to his tight end, Sprinkle. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Let's go.
Keenum now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Peterson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. That seemed to be linebacking 101 on how to diagnose and stop a run.
And what we're doing nowadays is we're taking those former safeties, those bigger guys, and making them linebackers to utilize their speed. He just made an absolute beeline after he diagnosed that play and ended up making a nice tackle on it.
Here we go.
On 2nd and 12, Keenum. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. Give the Redskins 13 there on a first down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a run with Peterson. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Hey, we got tight left. Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Keenum. Key to tight end. Foot tight.
On 2nd and 9, Keenum throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Keenum. He's got it complete to Thompson. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And a 2nd field goal here gets them back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it winds us down to the end of the 3rd quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
Here's Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
Now Prescott. Caught by Cobb. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That's excellent.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Look at this, a tight end carry. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that they have to punt the ball. They've done so with that first run.
A little more room here on 2nd and 6 from the 6. Now Keenum. And his throw here's incomplete. The Redskins on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Keenum. Got an open man, it's Harmon. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one goes for 36 yards. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Keenum. His throw incomplete. He was looking to get that one to Chris Thompson. And now it's 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
We got 4. We got 4.
Keenum to throw again. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. On 3rd and long, it's Keenum. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. A huge play there for Washington. 54 yards. That pass was heavily defended on 3rd down, but you know what? He's one of the best in the league at body control, and he showed you why there.
So what that tells you is that the guy throwing the football understands his guys, doesn't he? Give them a chance, put it up there, and realize that even in a battle, they're more than likely to come down with the football.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Another tote for the workhorse here this afternoon, Peterson. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. He's got Thompson here, complete. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Throwing is Keenum on third down. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Malik Collins in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today.
A 30-yard attempt.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, the drive started in the shadow of their own goalpost all the way back at the 2. Pretty nice job of getting downfield and at least getting 3.
Agreed on that one. A real nice job, because really their goal was to get out of the shadows of those goalposts and give themselves a little bit of room to help out their defense. Instead, they got 3 points out of it.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a 1st.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And the tackle there will go to Ryan Anderson. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Prescott now from the 50. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. With Cole Beasley now in Buffalo, you think that might open up some more targets for Michael Gallup. Last year as a rookie, 33 catches for the Dallas Cowboys. 2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
And that's the type of run that they're looking for, because they'll need to continue to rely on him to move the sticks in this tight game in order to preserve this lead.
Off the play fake, Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Prescott from the gun. And that is incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Keenum and the Redskins now going to come up 1st and 10 at the 20. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. DeMarcus Lawrence, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Here's Keenum to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Malik Collins picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now it's Keenum. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, Have we ever heard a coach say, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They start on the ground with Elliott. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another 1st down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Pass on target, Prescott to Cooper. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy 1st down. Well, last year on Thanksgiving when the Cowboys and Redskins met, that was sort of the Dallas coming out party for Amari Cooper. A lot of people were questioning that trade, but on that Thanksgiving Day game, Cooper 8 catches, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Cowboys would get the victory and really turn things on and end up making the playoffs. They'll run with Elliott. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Still 2nd down.
Here we go. 53 is the mic. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in.
Let's go, baby.
We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Elliott on first down, going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Elliott. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. Keenum and the offense now. Down by 8, 1:44 to go. They need a touchdown and, of course, the 2-point conversion as well.
I remember being taught that cliches have become so for a reason. A lot of times they're true, right? What's that they used to tell us about letting sleeping dogs lie? Well, this one wasn't sleeping. Maybe it was just slumbering a little bit. But taking that gamble there, you've got the lead. You may have ignited them now. They stopped you.
That's exactly right. If you take the points here, you don't shift momentum necessarily on that play. You probably just did. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. First down, here's a run with Peterson. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Clock running as the Redskins try to hurry up. Keenum. And that's complete. It's Sims. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And remember, field goal does them no good in this situation.
You got to think they should be taking some shots for the end zone soon. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. He's back to throw. And that's knocked away and incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. This defense so strong all afternoon long. Well executed again there.
This is a group that really functions well off of each other. No matter what the assignment, the other person fills in the exact proper spot. They've made it very, very hard for them to find open places to throw the football.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll run for it. Peterson. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get 26.
Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 30-yard line.
Here we go. Wide 80.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball.
You're
handing out multiple. Although I set you up by saying game balls plural, but
I like where we're going with this. Though you say one to represent like the best player of all of that, and I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.